Well, everyone, the iPhone 10 has been out for such a long period of time, and I kind of want to hit on basically some of the things that went wrong with the iPhone 10 in 2023. Now, what I mean by this is basically the things of this particular phone that could have probably been a little bit better, things that I wasn't really the biggest fan of. But regardless, I think the iPhone 10 was such an important iPhone. It brought so much stuff to the table, and I still think in a way it's probably worth buying, but I wouldn't recommend anybody to buy it if I'm being completely honest. The big thing that probably went wrong, or the worst thing that happened to the iPhone 10 in this particular year, was probably iOS 17. Now, what I mean by that is the lack thereof of the iPhone 10 support on iOS 17. Now, I think this iPhone could have easily supported it. I don't know why even Apple, didn't support it in the first place, but it is what it is. Or what are we going to do about it? I will tell you though, as of this point though, it is still getting security updates on iOS 16. So I think that is actually a pretty good thing that, this iPhone is getting that type of capability. But like I said, it's no longer getting iOS support on the official version of, iOS, at least in, iOS 18, iOS 17, those ones. So you're going to be kind of stuck in some ways, but I think regardless, it's totally okay. And, whatever. What are we going to do about it, Now, the next thing that probably went wrong with the iPhone 10 is probably when it comes down to its, basically how it compares against the iPhone 15s. The fact that we ended up getting the iPhone 15s and they are as good of a phone as they are, the big thing is that all the iPhones now have dynamic islands. They all have, crazy stuff going on with them. That kind of makes this particular iPhone stand out in a little bit of a different way. It may not necessarily be worth buying in that specific perspective just because, it's not really, worth buying, because it's just an older iPhone compared to those ones. So that might be another thing that kind of not necessarily went wrong with the iPhone 10, but when compared the iPhone 10 to the iPhone 15, you're definitely not getting the best, greatest iPhone that you could probably imagine either. On top of that, I would say some other big things. The performance of this phone really isn't that great anymore. It's definitely outdated. It is a little bit of an outdated body now, considering that all the iPhones have dynamic islands. And the fact that this thing has, gone down a little bit in the used market, maybe would make this thing like a little bit of a better deal. But still, I would tell you there's so many reasons as to why I would not recommend buying this iPhone anymore. And the biggest reason is the software support. Because this iPhone isn't really getting that software support anymore, it just doesn't make any sense to purchase this device. You are much better off buying something like an iPhone 11 or an iPhone XR. Dude, an iPhone XS is still a better iPhone than this thing as well right now. And it's funny because just a year ago, I wouldn't really be saying this kind of stuff. But now, because of where we are and the fact that this thing isn't supported with software, it just doesn't really make any sense at all to, basically buy this phone anymore when it comes down to it. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that will mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.